good days, just as every other day to discuss national, local, and global matters. All right, it's still talking points on Splash FM, of course. Let's talk today. All right, so my key matter on the table today is the passing into law the Oyo State Audit Bill. Passed by the Oyo State House of Assembly yesterday. I've seen a draft of the bill, and I'll be talking with an advocate or activist in that area, in the area of audit and accountability. Okay, of course, you should know Shegun Elemo. I'll be speaking with him much later on the program today. But a bit of that story. I'm using the Daily Post as my basis, okay? Oyo Assembly passes audit bill into law. The Oyo State House of Assembly has passed the Oyo State Audit Bill 2021 into law. Okay, so the bill will, among other things, see to the establishment of the Oyo State Audit Commission. Speaker of the Assembly, Adebo Ogundoyin, who led the House on a clause-by-clause consideration of the bill on Wednesday, said it would also make provision for the appointment, condition of service, functions and powers of the Auditor General of the state and local government. The bill will ensure accountability and transparency in governance and in handling of public resources, but this is why it was expeditiously passed by the House. It will further see to the checks and balances of the spendings of government. Okay, so the bill is also to give room for the Auditor General to perform his or her constitutional roles effectively. Okay, so those are some of the highlights. Okay, the story goes ahead to say that before now, there was no law that made provision for the smooth running of the activities of the Auditor Generals. This is the first time the law will see the light of the day in Oyo State, and we have to thank Governor Seyi Makinde for this. I'm therefore convinced that the bill will be assented to by His Excellency pretty soon. The Auditor Generals are not supposed to be under the control or interference of either the executive, the legislature, or the judiciary. They are supposed to stand on their own and be autonomous. That's the story. The headline, Oyo Assembly passes audit bill into law. In a few moments, I'll be speaking with Shegun Elemo, and we'll be getting to have an understanding of this bill. I particularly want to know what the bill is bringing to the table for all of us. You understand the drift, okay? It's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. And much later, I'll be asking your contribution on the program, just asking you to join the conversation. See how you indeed understand this audit bill. There's a story about the attack on the residence of Sunday Igboho, and that story is here. Okay, so that story, I just read a brief of it, this one. In the Punch, it says, breaking, DSS behind attack on Sunday Igboho's house, says source. Operatives of the Department of State Services are carried out a midnight attack on the residence of Yoruba rights activist Sunday Adeyemo, better known as Sunday Igboho, in the Soka area of Ibadan, Oyo State. The Punch has learned. A top security source who pleaded anonymity because he wasn't authorized to speak on the matter told the Punch on Thursday that the secret police operated in Sunday Igboho's residence in Ibadan early Thursday. Okay, so remember that the attack, meanwhile, the activist spokesman, Olayomi Koiki, said his principal was not arrested during the raid. Sunday Igboho is currently safe, he said. Okay, so you remember that earlier this year, some, had also attacked his Soka residence, and so you have, also the reports that 2 were killed in his house. Okay, so, like they will say in literature class, who done it? Okay, big question. Okay, that's a big question for all of us to attempt to answer. Just like the Oyo State Assembly passed the audit bill into law yesterday, the BPIB that had been on a journey since 1999 has indeed culminated. The Punch here reports breaking reps pass petroleum industry bill. The House of Representatives has considered and adopted the report by the committee leading to the passage of the PIB. The Committee of the Whole had considered the clauses of the bill as recommended by the Committee on PIB. Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila hailed the lawmakers for the record passage of the controversial bill, describing it as significant in the history of the parliament. The petroleum industry bill had traveled through all the houses, all the sessions in the House of, at the National Assembly. A lot of people had criticized the bill. I remember I was reading some perspectives to the bill some time ago, where some were arguing that the bill had too much power reserved for the Minister of Petroleum Resources. And some people had called for the unbundling of the petroleum industry bill, to give room for, splinter bills that will take care of different sectors. So we have the PIB passed by the House of Representatives. We will be waiting for concurrence, really. Okay, so I understand that, past the third reading, and then a few minutes ago, it had also been adopted and passed, really. Okay. So what are your thoughts on this matters? And, in a few minutes, like I told you, I'll be having Segun Elemo on the line. We will be talking about the PIB. We'll be talking about the audit bill. I remember he had been, really been asking questions about the audit bill, been saying that the audit bill on table, and even at the federal level, is an archaic bill, a bill at over 50 years that are still got some currency, and then it had put the Office of the Auditor General, under serious jeopardy, because even when the Auditor General makes a report, it still has to, defer to the National Assembly, where you have a committee that it should answer to. So it's just a question of who watches the watcher for some time. So what do you think about that? Okay, but that will be after my take with Segun Elemo, who is an expert in that area. But meantime, just a few items in the news, and then I'll get Goki to just come on the microphone as well to really give us his thoughts on some of these matters. Okay, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. What's the news like in your area? And I'd like you to just get to talk to me, okay? The numbers to call, I'll open the phone lines much later. But you can also key the numbers down just while we wait my conversation with Segun Elemo, and then we come to you for briefs. What you think about this bill? What would it bring to the table? What would it do for you as a Nigerian? Okay, there's this story about let's see. It's from the Minister of Information, or from the federal government, if you like. The Vanguard. We trailed Kanu for over 2 years before his rearrest. That's attributed to the federal government. The federal government says security and intelligence agencies were on the trail of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, for over 2 years before he was rearrested. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, disclosed this at a media briefing Thursday in Abuja. Said Kanu was living a 5-star life across several countries. He was traveling on chartered private jets, living in luxury apartments, and turning out in designing clothes and shoes. Of course, as we all saw, he was wearing an attire made by Fendi, a luxury Italian fashion brand, when he was arrested, he said. The minister said Kanu's rearrest and repatriation was made possible through the collaboration of Nigerian security and intelligence agencies. And he described their rearrest and repatriation as one of the most classic operations of its type in the world. Okay. Mohammed, however, did not comment on the speculation on how the rearrest was pulled off and in which country the hitherto fugitive leader of the proscribed IPOP was nabbed. All right. So what we can tell you once again is that the rearrest was made possible by the diligent efforts of our security and intelligence agencies in collaboration with countries with which we have obligations. That's the story. In the Vanguard, we trailed Kanu for over 2 years before his rearrest. Okay? In a moment, I will bring Goki to the microphone. But meanwhile, let's take Segun Elemo to give us perspectives on the audit bill passed by the Oyo State Assembly yesterday and what difference this bill will make. While we await Segun Elemo to connect, we can also join us on Facebook, Splash FM. Really, we're streaming live, so join us and just let's know your thoughts as well from there. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 949 3000. Segun Elemo is on the line. Good afternoon, Segun.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome to Talking Points. Segun Elemo is Executive Director, Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative. So yesterday, the Oyo State House of Assembly passed the Oyo State Audit Bill. What is this bill all about?
Well, the bill, and thanks for that question. The bill basically, is a law. I mean, to that the governor signed yesterday to provide for the establishment of the Oyo State Audit Commission, as well as the appointment, condition of service, functions, and powers of the Auditor General of the state and local government. And he also handles the issue around public accounts, the audit of public accounts at the state and local government as well.
Okay. Okay, so essentially, one big question for me is when the average man on the street will want to know exactly what the bill brings to the table for them.
Well, as you know, government is in the business of spending and receiving money, making money.
Okay.
And then, of course, expenditure as well. I mean, that's just the whole essence of budgeting. There are two sides to the budget, both the income and the expenditure. And that's what government, wraps its activities around. Fortunately or unfortunately, public policy, which affects everyday life of the people, is also subject to the income and expenditure of government. As such, the programs and policies and projects that government intends to carry out is also subject to the income and expenditure of government. It is then important that there must be checks as to how government, whether at the federal, state, or local government, carries out these activities of income or expenditure. And that duty or responsibility lies on the Auditor General. Unfortunately, before now, Auditor Generals or Auditors General at subnational level, whether state or local governments, have not performed effectively, especially since democracy returned in 1999. So it will be disheartening to note that Auditors General haven't been given the room as enshrined in whether Section 85, subsection 1, 2, or 3 of the Constitution of the country, 1999 as amended, or Section 125, subsection 1, or even Section 301 or thereabouts that established the Auditor General for local government. So all of these, provisions in the Constitution have not, materialized, and only just now are state governments beginning to show interest in establishing the office of the Auditor General and giving the independence it deserves. And we must congratulate the government of Oyo State for doing this, even though it's late. But as they say, it's better late than never.
Okay, so I'm reading section 28 of this bill, and I'd like to quote directly. It says, the Auditor General shall not later than 3 months before the end of the budget year prepare an audit plan and the associated budget. He also talked about the Auditor General for the state shall audit all public accounts of the state, while the Auditor General for local government shall audit all public accounts for the local government. There's also a place here that he talks about the fact that they shall produce, the electronic versions of this audit report and all that when they receive the financial reports and the rest of it. So it tells me that it's one gateway to open government, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this is one thing that we have been, advocating for since 2016. Actively since 2016, and we've always said that we need to establish that office, give it the independence it deserves, and you also know that we published the Subnational Audit Efficacy Index 2020, which we published in May 2021. And in that index, Oyo State ranked 25th and scored 40 over 100. At the meeting I had with the Commissioner for Budget of Oyo State, we presented that report to him. And I believe that report is also some of the reasons why the governor, quickly and hastily put this together. But, it's important to say that there was one component of this whole exercise that we saw was missing, and that is the public hearing that should have, come with it. I don't know whether the standing rules of the House of Assembly, mandate them to ensure that they conduct public hearings on every bill, whether executive bill or bill from Parliament itself, that will translate into laws. But we did not see anything like that in this regard. There was no public hearing. It was hastily done, and we wonder why there was so much haste in quickly putting this together. So that is one thing that we observed. We are also currently at PLSR reviewing the content of the bill. We have highlighted a few issues that we have with the bill. For instance, the bill, while it provides for the timeline for the Auditor General to present his report to the House of Assembly, it did not make any provision timeline for which the House of Assembly must scrutinize and examine the audit report and make their own recommendations public. Those are some of the issues that we have highlighted, and we are still reviewing technically the law that has been signed, because it is no longer a bill. It has now become a law in Oyo State. But I must say that at this point, that establishing the office of the Auditor General alone and giving it the independence it deserves, ensuring that there's financial autonomy for that office, as well as administrative independence, I think it's one thing that we must commend the state government on. Democratic activities is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and we'll continue to engage with the process and ensure that we'll refine it. Okay,
one of the highlights of this law is that it will check the excesses of those in public offices. That is, that means that those who hold public offices, who are, in custody of government funds, have to, answer questions. So one big question for me is, it's always beautiful to make laws. Won't some people come one day and begin to ask for implementation framework for this law, to say that, okay, of course the law says this, but there are no, frameworks to, put these things to the table? Would that not put this bill or this law into jeopardy like so many others?
No, I don't think I don't think it will put it in jeopardy. I think the framework we are talking about now, it will be the responsibility of the Auditor General, whether the state or local government, to put the framework in motion. And that framework must then conform to the provision of this law, as well as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. Mind you, the provisions contained in this law does not in any way contradict the provisions contained in the Constitution, whether in Section 85 or Section 125. So, but it will be the responsibility of the Auditors General of the state and local government to then put the framework in place. The law, for instance, that was signed by the governor yesterday has already empowered the Auditors General to make audit plans as the need may be, and then to submit their budget to the House of Assembly for approval.
Okay.
So that in itself will be the framework. When the Auditor General makes the audit plan, draws the audit plan, perhaps maybe in the audit plan it will highlight the MDAs, the Ministry of Environment and Agencies, which will cover in that exercise, and the kind of audit he wants to carry out, whether a compliance audit or financial audit or a periodic check of statutory corporations or commission. I think, like I said, that responsibility lies solely on the Auditor General for state or local government. All
right. Okay, so before I let you go now, I usually ask questions about, I know that you made, an observation about the fact that there was either no public hearing or the critical stakeholders in this area, like you, were not, invited for a public hearing. But
absolutely.
Yeah, but despite that, would we be able to pull this off? I mean, citizens really, do citizens really have, should they have, or will they be able to have input into the implementation of this law and also the monitoring?
Yes. One other thing that we also saw, before I answer your question, one other thing that we've also realized that there is no provision for citizen participation in the audit process in Oyo State. So, for instance, the Auditor General, even though he's auditing public accounts, which ordinarily should be used to improve the lives of the people in Oyo State, the people themselves are not participating in the process. For instance, they cannot determine or suggest to the Auditor General to say, this service, these social services, we want you to help us, look into this, or there can be some sort of collaboration between citizen groups and the Office of the Auditor General to look at provision of services to citizens. But away from that, in the implementation of the law itself, I think that there is an opportunity for citizens to come in now. For instance, the law, for instance, now has made provision that the report of the Auditor General must be made public.
Okay.
I think that is one area that citizens can now begin to look at. The independence of the Auditor General at the state or local government now has now been, supported by an act of parliament.
Yeah.
So it is no longer questionable whether the Auditor General is independent or should be independent, and how much independence they can exercise in carrying out his function.
All right.
And when he reports or publishes his report, citizens groups can then take up that report and begin to engage accountability actors and democratic institutions, including the State House of Assembly.
All right. Okay. Olusegun Elemo is Executive Director, Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This is an ongoing conversation, of course. We'll most certainly also attend to this matter because it's a developing story indeed. Okay, so I'd like you to look out for, opening up of this law and, conversations around it on our station, Splash FM 105.5. Of course, it's Talking Points. I have a commercial break and I'll be back. Please don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Ìfẹ́ mi níbo lobìnrin yìí wà?
Ọkọ mi, kí nìyẹn?
Àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ yìí tí ẹnìkan fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi lórí WhatsApp. Ó ń já mi láyà o.
Kí ni nǹkan tó ń já yín láyà? Ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti kàn sí Africa Check lórí WhatsApp láti ṣàrídájú pé ìròyìn yìí ṣe fọkàn tán? Tí èyíkéyìí fídíò, fọ́tò, ìfọ̀ránṣẹ́ tàbí àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ kan bá mú ìfúnra lọ́wọ́ tó ń jáni láyà tàbí mọ́kàn pòrúurú, Africa Check yóò bá yín ṣàyẹ̀wò rẹ̀. Ọlọ́gbọ́n yẹn o. Ǹjẹ́ o ní ìròyìn tí o kò lè ṣe ìwádìí rẹ̀? Fi ránṣẹ́ sí wa lórí WhatsApp ní 09083777789. Africa Check yóò ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́ láti ya òótọ́ sọ́tọ̀ kúrò nínú àròsọ.
Do you know that Now you have the right to quality broadcasting. The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Did you know chronic stress from work or lifestyle habits may result in fatigue, headaches, and pains? Stress reduces the body's ability to fight diseases, leaving you vulnerable. Your day will be much better knowing you have the right immune support to help you combat symptoms of stress. Immune Active is a premium blend of high-strength vitamin C, zinc, and selenium that helps prevent recurring diseases, improves skin radiance, and boosts confidence. Activate your immune system today with Immune Active. Available at any leading pharmacy store near you and online at oaklifevitamins.com.
Dem say your ginger, now pepper dem style. Show them say you sabi your legwork moves. Beba there. Get there as it is hot with extra spice. Oh shit. With the confirmed taste of bold ginger. Show them your ginger.
Bold ginger, now the confirmed soft drink. We get spicy taste that keeps you refreshed. Bold soft drink also there for orange, tropical, and bitter lemon flavor for all your enjoyment. Bold ginger, show your ginger.
Take it back to the old school classics on Splash 105.5 FM with Luminary DJ Eden. Every Saturday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. We'll throw you all the way back to the 90s, 80s, and as far back as the 60s. We'll bring you juju, reggae, disco, new jack swing, and many more. Right here on Splash 105.5 FM. Every Saturday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The Splash Vintage Sound.
Splash FM 105.5.
Right, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. And okay, so I have Goke in the house here. Goke, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Michael. It's always nice to be here.
All right, so before that break, I was chatting with Shegun Elemo there. We're talking about the audit bill passed into law and accented to by the governor for your state. Has become a law now. One big question for me, which I asked him, is that the bill empowers the Auditor General, of the state or the local government to call for financial reports and audit, just basically to audit the financial reports and statements of government agencies, ministries and parastatals, to be able to know what has been done and how far it has been done and the rest of it. The big question is, it is to check the excesses of public officials.
Exactly.
So when you make a law that empowers somebody to call you and ask you what happened to this money, this contract was awarded, the job has just been done 30% and you paid a whole 100% to the contractor. Why on all that? Someone will find a loophole somewhere, and then it becomes you cannot ask me, and then I have the power to ask you, and they say go to section this and all that. It looks like we always have a way of circumventing laws in the country. Yeah. What do you think?
We actually have, like you said, we actually have that culture. We have this mentality in which that have been shown by political elites, political leaders, that no one should question me. Like a king, you just want to be like Kabiosi, like there's nobody to just question you. But of course, importantly, I've been saying that we need to make structures. We need to have system. So I am so glad about this particular bill, and I hope that indeed, because in this country we have issue about enforcing the law. There are plenty, we have plenty laws all around, but how well can we enforce them? So, of course, if we put down the structure and we can enforce it, of course, we should do well. And I hope in the bill or subsequently, the structures that they put in place to make sure that this bill works efficiently, that if the Auditor General, calls for certain things or this thing, probe into a project or so, or public fund, usage, and you refuse to you refuse to honor the invite or do what is expected of you, I hope that there is punishment, because of course accountability should be paramount in our governance. Right. I think it's a good one for your state.
0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 949 3000. And the story about Sunday Igboho and the attack on his residence. Well, I will come to that after this call. Hello. Hello.
Abodun from Mapete.
Okay, Mr. Abodun, let's talk, sir.
It's good to celebrate all these laws. Okay. But let me ask you a question. Who put the Auditor General there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
You have not answered my question. I said, who put the Auditor General there?
The law puts the Auditor General there.
No, not the law. It is the governor that puts the Auditor General there, not law.
The Auditor General is not an appointee. I hope you know that.
I hope you know that the governor has influence on who becomes the PS, who becomes the Auditor General, who becomes the Accountant General. Okay. So you know that.
Okay, so what is your own problem with the law? For
it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm just telling you that the piper dictates the tune.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if the Auditor General teaches the governor how to move, so that in case listen, in case there's any problem, this is how to wriggle out of the problem. What about?
Well,
what about that? This is Nigeria. This morning, 300 constitutional provisions were flouted by the government.
Okay.
300. So what do we do about that?
All right. Okay. So, all right. Thank you very much. I understand that much, but I understand that much. But the point is that there are laws and provisions in the law for these things.
I know. Okay. We welcome all the laws.
All right, thank you very much.
Just like you have said, we want to see the implementation.
All right, thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Akin is my name. I'm calling from Mokala.
Akin, let's talk, sir.
Okay, yeah. I have not seen the copy of that law. But what I'm concerned with is that the Auditor General, I believe, is a subject of the governor, the chief executive of the state.
Okay.
And according to the law, the Auditor General may ask for documents from different various government departments.
Oh, yes.
What if the governor instructs him not to bother to go to that area? So what would be the essence of this law? Please, can you show more light on this one?
Okay,
Thank you.
So the way to answer your question, Akin, is that I told you that it's a developing story. We'll get to answer all the questions. I'm not an expert in this area, so I don't pretend that I am one. You just you heard my interview with the expert. And I can assure you that we will bring the expert back, and some of these questions will lay them again to the table. But what I do know is that the Auditor General is empowered because he has constitutional role. Don't forget that Segun Elemo was quoting Section 85 and Section 125 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So those ones should suffice, really.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 493 3000. Those are the numbers to call if you'd like to be a part of the conversation on the program today. Okay, so let's talk, shall we? 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 493 3000. Okay. A caller here beckons. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
For you.
Yes, welcome, sir.
About the petroleum bill that I done the time, I don't know, are they able to resolve the either 2.5 or 5% that's supposed to be an argument? That's what I want to clear.
Okay, so so why don't you just look for that story, okay? You can just look for the story in the newspaper. And just check it out. Sometimes it's always better to just look, be on the lookout, just check. Okay, so I know that there have been questions after questions upon questions about the PIB, which, like I told you, had been having an excursion all through. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome to talk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to recommend our lawmakers that made that law.
Yeah.
Let us spend the essence of the chairman, I think. That is what my mind do. I do that law. But how to implement it is the problem we have now.
Okay.
As you now said that it's not the government that employed the Editor General.
Okay.
It's not the body employed the National Editor General.
Okay.
So,
all right. So
not look on that. We have to let them do that thing.
Okay.
And follow them. When they do that thing, we now come call them back.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for calling. Section 85 that Segun Elemo quoted, let me read it out to you. Just a bit of it, Section 85 in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. There shall be an Auditor General of the Federation who shall be appointed in accordance with the provisions of Section 86 of this Constitution. So let me look at Section 86. What does it say, really? Section 86 says the Auditor General of the Federation shall be appointed by the President on the recommendation of the Federal Civil Service Commission, subject to confirmation by the Senate. So you know there's a process there. Recommendation by the Federal Civil Service Commission. So just as you have the Civil Service Commission replicated at the level of the state as well. So it is not a unilateral appointment. You get the point. So what and then that appointment has to be approved, so to speak. You get what I'm saying now. It says by the confirmation by the Senate. So the Senate or the National Assembly or the State Assembly can say no. Just like you have in the case of the head of the EFCC and the rest of it. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ayo Babayemi.
Ayo Babayemi from Akpata.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why you are excited by that audit or whatever. Why are you excited?
A law has been passed.
There's nothing for excitement at all.
Okay.
The Auditor General appointed by the President, recommendation here and there. We know what happened. There is no strong institution in Nigeria at all, and there can never be. Maybe when there's another world. So don't be excited, because that Auditor General has to report to the governor. He cannot just write out any report without the consent of the governor or the President. Otherwise, we lose his job. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Babayemi. Thank you very much. But then we need to be excited, as Nigerians. You are saying that, there are no structures and all that. We are putting structures in place. So why are you not excited? Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Olatunbosun.
It is still Talking Points on Splash FM. When we meet you, sir. Mr. Falodun, right?
My name is Falodun, yes, sir. May God continue to have your name, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nigeria is a country where we have a very good law. All what you are saying is just a right theory. When you say the auditor is supposed to be independent of the Mr. Governor, are they independent? When you talk of the legislation, they are supposed to be independent of the governor, are they independent? So we have a very good law, but when you go to the implementation, now for Nigeria, and yet Nigeria is sabotage it. That's the truth.
All right.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. All right. So, Section 125 of the 1999 Constitution as amended here reads, there shall be an Auditor General for each state who shall be appointed in accordance with the provisions of Section 126. Now, Section 126 now says, the Auditor General for a state shall be appointed by the governor of the state on the recommendation of the State Civil Service Commission, subject to the confirmation by the House of Assembly of the states. So you have clear-cut, definition of roles here. And then the law now says that you cannot remove this Auditor General unilaterally. Hello, good afternoon. All right, you have to you just turn down the volume on your radio when you get in. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome to Talking Points today. What's the name, please? Demola, right?
Yes,
okay.
Like it doesn't know why you are exactly wanting to. We all know the influence on our political officers that we have on our countries. I think the problem we have in the nation is you don't have strong laws or strong implementation. Until that, all the laws, they just kind of more or less like they don't have. That's how I see it for my own.
Okay. All right, Mr. Demola, you said we don't have laws. We don't have strong laws. Somebody else says we don't have structures. So how about putting the structures in place one after the other? So you cannot put every structure in place at the same time. But isn't this a beautiful way to start? They usually say, and I know you know this, they say that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with a step. So how about starting with this step and then, another step and then another step until we arrive at where we are going?
Yeah. You are very right. But, they've been on this for a very long time. Since 1999. We have President overruling. We have court orders being rejected by the court orders. So I don't know how long it will take for us if I don't speak in the business now.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Demola, for calling. All right. 0809 155 1055. 0805 699 8678 and 07069 493 3000. Those are the numbers if you'd like to be a part of the conversation. Let's talk. All right. Okay, another caller here beckons. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good night.
Yeah, this is Talking Points on Splash FM.
Yeah, I know. I don't know whether you have worked in the civil service before.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Folisho.
Okay.
Folisho from Bere. Yes.
Oh, from Bere. Let's talk, sir.
Because if you have worked in the civil service before, you will know that all these laws is tied to the apron of politicians, the appointed politicians. Because they can do and undo.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they can do and undo. Because some of them, look at the governors we have. They have immunity. Some of them they want to appoint an acting Auditor General.
You cannot appoint an acting Auditor General, because when you make appointment, the assembly has to confirm.
I know.
I know what you are saying. But you see, that is where citizens come into play. You see, a lot of the callers today are pessimistic about this.
The citizens you are talking about, how many of them are ready to even go forward to tell them that what you are doing is wrong? How many of us we have the guts?
Oh wow!
Yes. Well, if you say it, they might be looking for you. Let me tell you. I'm telling you.
I understand.
Because I've worked in the civil service before. I know what is.
You asked me earlier whether I've worked in the civil service before. I have not worked in the civil service before. But
that's why you are excited. That's why you are excited. We that have worked in the service before, we are not excited because we know that these laws exist. Even exist before. But some of them might even say they are not even tested, that they are the overall power. They have the overall power.
Okay.
Overall thing. So, but I think with time.
Yeah.
We get to the place. We get there.
I know that. I know that whatever gap there is in the law as we speak today, one day someone will also look at the law and sponsor a bill and the rest of it.
I to believe it too. Like what Ivagede has done now. It's good.
Yeah.
He has started somewhere.
Yeah, Mr. Folusho, I am very positive about Nigeria. I believe that we will get there. It may take us years, but we will get there.
I'm hopeful too. I'm optimistic.
All right,
so
thank you.
We'll get there.
Thank you very much for calling. Okay. A Vanguard here says reps pass bill to compel president, governors to appoint disabled persons as ministers, commissioners. Oh, how about that? The 1st of July 2021. Okay, let me just let you know that it's the Vanguard of today. The story here says bill sponsored by Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, to compel the president and state governors to appoint disabled people to the offices of minister and state commissioners has been passed in the Green Chamber. The Houseman of the Green Chamber seeks to the enforcement of those rights through a bill entitled An Act to Amend the Provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for inclusion and protection of persons with disabilities 2021. The bill, which was passed on Thursday for third reading, seeks to amend Section 147 to include the word "and shall include person with disabilities" after the last word "state" in the last paragraph of Section 3. Okay, so how about that? Okay, so it means that when this law gets the accent of the president, it means that at least we'll be able to get a person with disability into the cabinet of a governor or the president. Okay, so gradually going into that level where we'll be able to beat our chest and say we have beat the trap of leaving anyone behind. Okay, so it is the SDG era. Hello, good afternoon.
Good evening, sir.
You're welcome to Talking Points today. What's the name, please?
My name is Abiodun. I'm calling from Ibadan, sir.
Mr. Abiodun, let's talk, sir.
Okay, now I would like to make this statement, sir, because when you started this issue about transparency, that was like 3 weeks ago or 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, where there was a ranking of states, and then it seems Oyo State was like below 40%, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Oyo State was 40% and 26th or so.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think it was that same man that came to do that analysis that very day.
Yeah.
Because I realized a lot of our callers maybe did not start with us when we started trashing this issue. The issue about government is that, you see, our leaders are Nigerians. They are not coming from US. So if you said we have impunity in government, I believe we are the ones that created the impunity ourselves.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know before, even despite I listen to your program every day, that Oyo State doesn't even have an auditor general. I don't even know. And we have been practicing this democracy since 1999.
We have auditor general, but you see, you need a law that is very strong.
Okay, that will be able to guide him in how you carry out the responsibility.
Yeah, you need a very strong law to be able to, where that auditor general or whoever it is will be able to stand on their feet and say, okay, this is what we want. And, be saying, I'm doing this by the virtue of section this and section that.
Okay, that's very good. I think for us now, we should at least give them the benefit of that. That is for the House of Assembly and the government. And they have taken it.
Okay.
The responsibility of building this country is everybody's responsibility. It's not only for the politicians. So we shouldn't always blame them. They are coming from the various forms of society. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Goki. So you are going to respond to some of these issues. I particularly want to talk about the attack on the Sunday Igboho's residence. And, as a Nigerian, you want to say that we're safe. But here we are.
I think the truth of the matter is that we are not safe, Michael. Anything can happen to anybody. I was actually there at the scene of the incident. And, of course, I must tell you that, the atmosphere was hostile. You can see everybody they were actually not happy. I mean, we met at the place. And you know, I came up with this thought after I went there with some of our partners at work. People are hostile to media organizations or pressmen. You know, we were there to cover the event. We were there to, you know, understand what happened from people. We were there to hear from them. And the next thing is, you people should just leave here. You people should just leave here. They can waste you people. You understand? You people are angry. We are concerned.
It's one of the answers of the job.
Exactly.
But then we're also citizens like you.
We also, that's what I'm saying. So it's possible that, maybe I've gone there to, you know, cover the event and maybe he's not back. Maybe he's dead. You see, a whole lot of things that we should continue to talk about. Of course, there are a lot of speculations about it, about what happened. You know, we were able to speak with someone that lives in the neighborhood and said, normally the guys around they shoot guns and the rest. In fact, I think it happens where I stay too. These particular people, I don't know whether they are scaring robbers or the rest, but they shoot gun. But the woman said around 2 a.m. today, the shooting were very, very sporadic, and the shooting continued till 4:30 a.m. This is not nice for a society. I don't know if they want to arrest the man. I don't know whatsoever people are involved in it. You know, we read a source from the Punch. They're saying the DSS, but killing innocent people. Now we are not so sure. Some are saying
of the
2,
number.
Some are saying 8. Some are saying 5. But we've lost innocent souls.
But then, even if it is one person,
for Christ's sake, see, I'm so sad for the disregard for human life. You just talk about it's just 2, it's just 8. We've lost some people. We've lost ideas. We've lost people that should have contributed to the future of this country. So I don't know the people that are involved, but I'm saying this is not the time for reprisal attack by any group that feel aggrieved or angered by what has happened.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Michael. This is Eze. Just briefly.
Very briefly.
Yeah. This news is for some of us, you know, we don't know what the future holds. I don't see anything wrong in you trying to you did what you want. Maybe when I heard the news, I thought, nobody. Why is the safety? No one is safe. No, they're all around us. What are we going to do? And the media too. And the media personnel. We pray for some of you because you're doing your job. Where are we heading to this country? Are we heading to total totalitarianism? Are we heading to the past days? Even though it's really, I'm really scared, my brother. This is a very great picture that shows the great future. Not good at all. Not good at all. Bad, even for the media.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Eze, for calling. Let's just try this for size. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome to Talking Points. Can we do this in 1 minute? What's the name, sir?
Yes, Olabode.
Mr. Olabode, let's talk, sir.
We have been talking about the same people. Initially, we have already attacked those people from Ibadan. Then they are betraying. And the president is giving these people tactical support.
You are talking as if there is something you know that we don't know. Do you have information? You said those people.
Yes, it's those Fulani men that they are.
Mr. Olabode, that has not been established. So I don't want us to be making wild allegations. Please.
You know, listen, Mike. When they attacked Igbo the other time, they went there with his convoy. You know, the military, they are after in that particular day. You see the video all over. So up to now, they are still, you know, trying to cut this guy down because they have attacked this men that is killing his people.
All right.
The president can't do anything. Look at the way the Kano was captured. Let them use those forces with the S-men too. Look at the way they are killing our people all over.
All right. Mr. Olabode, thank you very much for your concern. Really. Okay, so we just wish that, all of us will be safe. And we're just wishing that those Nigerians that have been killed will be able to get justice for them. Okay, thank you very much for coming.
It's always nice. I'm happy about the bill. I'm so sad about the incident at Soka. and I'm also happy about the discrimination against persons with disability law.
All right.
I'm so happy about that.
Okay, so thank you very much once again.
It's nice, Michael.
The job is done for this week on Talking Points. On Saturday on Book Splash, we have another meeting, 2:30 on Saturday. Then we'll return Monday morning, Real Estate Today, and Monday afternoon, Talking Points. Meanwhile, after now, Ibadan News Update at 4 o'clock. And after much later, Splash Rendezvous. Let's talk about things that affect us as a people. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. I'd like to urge you to enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Splash FM 105.5.